very rough. But it's a new series. This is 0-0. Remember, the games for the Shadowplay vs RMP are delayed for now. But a sap onto Talbadar right off the bat, and he is getting purged up. And I think that Skenz should be getting full dots out right now. Looks like he's going to try to, but he does get spell locked. I think he might have juked it, actually.
Mir is just going to open up on a Snutz with that Geru, though. But we don't see any dots just out yet from Skenz. So Snutz is doing a great job LSing those dots, which is so important on the opener. You don't want to get it dotted up, allow them to get the pressure rolling. So a nice job by Snutz pulling back there. Tenderloin going to remove that UA, but Snutz now is fully dotted. There's a soul swap, but it's once again removed instantly by Talbadar. Snutz is down to 6% HP, though. The Haunt is still up. No UA has been replaced, though.
Yeah, I think it's really tough for Skenz against teammates that know what they're doing. It's going to be really, really rough to actually get any pressure rolling. But they actually already killed a pet for Skenz, so that's on a 2-minute timer, and I'll keep track of that. But Tenderloin is being hit right now. That is Cdew. He's stuck in a garrote. Looks like he should be able to pick himself up, but with both of his teammates stuck in a Howl of Terror, and now they're both out. Talbadar down to 66% as well, and a soul swap coming from Snutz. He's currently got the Shaman and the Warlock fully dotted.
Yeah, getting dots on Mir as well. Snutz, I think, did just get locked. No, he was able to fake it, I think, now. But he's going to go into a kidney regardless. Lots of damage coming out. There's a banish coming out on Snutz's pet. That could be huge. Snutz is going to get coiled. He's fully dotted up, down to 40% HP. NS or something might have to come out from Talbadar here. I think he got CS. Tenderloin did. He might have faked it. No, he was fully locked, so this is kind of bad. Snutz is down to 20% HP. He has no port. Link might even have to come out.
Yeah, you can see him running on top of him. That's either to prevent a bomb or to get ready for a Spirit Link. He's going to get a Healing Surge right now, a Gouge, but it was just at the very end of the Healing Surge. Talbadar dispelling dots off of himself as well, trying and prevent as much spread pressure as possible. Talbadar at 54%, but no dots on him. He's stuck in a kidney, but he's shielded behind a pillow.
There's a coil on a Geru, though. Snutz had him fully dotted up. There's some dots from Talb, so he just got the coil just to get the damage rolling. Geru's at 50%, going to run back behind. There's a dance coming out from Mir, though, onto Snutz, and Geru's silence. Mir's going to be taking a lot of damage here, but so is Snutz. We're just seeing a good job so far from this shadow play, trying to get the pressure rolling, but Snutz is in some trouble. He's going to have to port. The pet from Skenz might go down once again, but Snutz is going to have to tap. He needs to be topped off by Tenderloin, but he's now being focused, so it's going to be tough. He has to heal both of them up while being under pressure from this Rogue, who is now cloaked to stay offensive.
Yeah, and Skenz does have another pet out, by the way. He had to use a soul shard on it, which means he has roughly 4 pets remaining, if I had to make an estimate right now. But Snutz is stuck in a kidney. Looks like he's going to trinket it. Cdew is stuck in a full fear. Snutz deciding to port away, throwing up his Shadow Ward, trying to stop as much damage as he can. But the RLS team is currently sitting pretty healthy. They have full dots on the Shaman, though.
They're going hard onto Cdew, though. There's a bomb coming down. Snutz already hit a Soulborn Hellstone as well. Cdew down to 50% HP. Already Hellstone, 30% HP. There's the NS coming out, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He's going to have to link here for sure. But a second bomb comes down. He can't link. He's at 40% HP. Dots are still up. He does try to fake that kick, but he's kidneyed, and he has no trinket.
And Talbadar trying to cast some heals, but there comes a Hex, and there's a Death Coil getting possibly down before the Link. Actually, Link was used, in the combat log. I heard the totem effect, but he died before the health could pick him up.
For the Mir, Geru, and Skenz. Mir is going to be charging in here. He's going to get the sap on Talbadar right away. You can see Talbadar has that Fear Ward, which could get purged off, which could be pretty big. We see purges coming in from Geru. Looks like they just want to open up onto him. There's a cheap shot. There's the tricks. Full dots will come out here onto Talbadar. This could be dangerous right already.
Yeah, he's going to definitely have to shield and then possibly dispel off himself, but Cdew actually catches the dispel on the UA. So Talbadar, looking in a pretty healthy position. The Rogue is probably going to swap to Snutz here, and sure enough, he does. Snutz does have dots on the Warlock, but that's the only target. I think, he also dotted the pet. I'm sorry. Excuse me. The pet is also dotted. I think they're probably going to go for some pet kills here. Talbadar did sit in a full fear. Cdew does get blinded after he dispels a UA, so he might have to trinket it. Otherwise, Snutz could be in a lot of trouble.
It's a dance sap, though, and Cdew's going to try to sit through all this because he knows that the swap is going to come out. A nice port from Snutz there. He's going to get up before the Rogue can even get to him, but he's just going to shadow step back up. We see here comes the swap on the Tenderloin. This is why he did not trinket. There's the cheap shot. There's the kidney shot. He has to trinket now. He gets out of there at 40% HP. But even with that, look how rough that swap is. We see Geru, though, in some trouble. He's going to have to trinket. He's down to 20% HP. There's a Hex onto Skenz. Nice job by Cdew staying offensive. No interrupts, unfortunately, able to come out on those heals. So Geru caught a couple healing surges. The silence has now come in. But is it going to be enough? They need to get a slow onto Geru. He's dispelled those dots. He's going to be able to get back behind the pillar, top himself off. So the pressure has subsided from now from this shadow play. But Skenz now could be in some trouble. This pet of Snutz is actually banished. Talbadar's at kidney right now. Dots are up. Tenderloin, though, doing a good job of removing those dots.
Yeah, currently the only person dotted on the shadow play team is Snutz. Snutz, on the other hand, has dots on the rogue and almost everything but UA on the Warlock. A nice grip from Talbadar right now on Snutz, but Snutz is just going to get trained into,
His
man.
pet's banished once again, man.
Yeah, and a Garrote into a kidney with a fear on Talbadar. This is really rough for the shadow play right now. I think Talbadar is probably going to have to start healing maybe, but it looks like he's actually just going to go offensive onto this Shaman. Maybe?
Yeah, we'll be able to see. But I mean, they need to get something rolling. This is what Talbadar's trying to do. He knows that if they don't have pressure on Geru, nothing will ever happen. And you can see Talbadar's even hurting on mana. He's trying to pump out some damage, trying to get something going on Geru. But Geru's just going to come down here. He's going to LOS. And Talbadar's almost doing. He's at 60%. Tenderloin is now being swapped to. Snutz is still low. Tenderloin could take a lot of damage here. If you do get a kidney out of that Garrote, it does land. But with the shield from Talba, it looks like he will be okay for now. Mir is down to 40%, but he still has his cloak. He's going to catch a heal. He's going to pop out to be able to get that G heal from Geru.
Yeah, I think Mir's actually doing a great job holding onto his cloak. Holding onto your cloak is such an important thing that all the really good rogues do, but that was a gigantic fear bomb. Snutz is actually in a lot of trouble. Cdew had to sit that full, and Snutz does port on the smoke bomb, but he gets Shadow Step back up to and Garroted once again. And
Tenderloin's full hex. Snutz could go down here. Mir is into that fear, but he's going to try to sprint, disarm off that. Nice job by Talbadar. He's going to mind control him as well. Talbadar just keeping the rogue out of the game. The only reason that Snutz is still alive, but it still may not be enough. We can see, fortunately for the shadow play this game, though, Tenderloin is doing so well in mana, so although the pressure is just insane right now, if they're able to live through it, they could take it in a longer game. Talbadar doesn't have Disperse, though, and he's in a lot of trouble here, down to 40% HP. There's a spell lock onto Tenderloin. I'm not sure if he faked it or not, but it might not even matter because Talbadar is still at 40% HP. G-Heal tries to come out, but I think he got shocked.
Yeah, and Talbadar down to 36%, using a Hellstone, using a Prayer Mending. He throws a Silence out onto the Shaman, and now Mir down to 22%. He still has a Cloak, and he does use it right there. Definitely a good choice, but Talbadar still in a lot of trouble. At 33% right now, Tenderloin trying to pick him back up, throwing some healing surges. Geru, on the other hand, fully dotted at 55%. If a Link goes off right now from Geru, it's not going to help out too much because Rogue is also low, but actually he just got picked up a great deal right there. Talbadar stuck in a kidney and a Death Coil. He chooses to disperse.
And Geru is so low mana. Look at his mana. Look at Tenderloin. Cdew is just doing an amazing job, but Geru is drinking. They have to stop that. Talbadar is going to wand him. Nice job. There was an MCS to try to stop him, but he got the wand off immediately. Snutz, though, might just go down here. He's down to 40% HP. He needs the life tap as well. He's in so much trouble. Tenderloin desperately trying to top him back off. He fakes a CS with that Hex, and now he should be able to get a big heal onto Snutz, but he's down to 20% HP. No dots are coming out from Skenz just yet because Skenz is in so much trouble, too. Geru is into that fear with the silence as well. He's fully dotted up. Skenz actually tapping there at 30%. He's going to go behind the pillar. Should be able to get healed up here from Geru, but Geru is so low on mana, so things are looking pretty good for the shadow play because Mir is now disarmed as well. They're just getting the pressure rolling everywhere. This is exactly what they need to do. Great play from Snutz, Talbadar, and Cdew.
Yeah, and you can see as soon as that rogue starts running behind the pillar, Talbadar actually casts a Mind Seer. That's something we almost never see coming out of Priest in the arena, is that Mind Seer spell, aside from knocking people out. But Talbadar knows that it's going to cause the most damage, so it's going to require the most healing, which is the most mana. But here comes a dance from the rogue. Looks like he's going to be hitting Talbadar right now, and maybe he's possibly going to swap to Snutz right now, which he certainly does, but a nice grip from Talbadar prevents a lot of that damage, and Mir did use his Shadow Step to get over there. Mir also doesn't have Cloak for another 15 seconds or so. I actually don't have the exact timer, but Snutz is stuck in a kidney. And then here comes a fear from Talbadar.
Fear, though, from Talb. They're going to go hard onto Geru here. You can see all those dots are up onto Geru. They want to get the pressure rolling on that Shaman. Talbadar's chasing after him, but Talbadar's in some trouble too, down to 45% HP. Geru is into that Death Coil. He's at 35% HP. There's a CS onto Skenz, 10% HP. Link comes out, but he's going to go down.
That's exactly what the Shadow Play needed to do right there. That was really, really good play by them. They had him so low on mana, and then they just get a burst kill, and that is going to tie the series at 1-1. And you can see the damage Snutz actually did a lot of damage, man. 1.8 million. Talbadar did 1.2.
Yeah, guys, so this is the Yaspresents tournament, sponsored by that guild on Stormscale EU Alliance. We do see Snutz is going to be running in here, throwing down his port. So is Skenz. They're both positioning themselves at that tomb right in here in the middle. We can see Talbadar just trying to spell down on Geru. Throws out that fear. He's going to get Tremor out immediately from Geru, which is a good start.
Yeah, I don't think... Did Mir actually get knocked out of stealth? I'm pretty sure he did by Talbadar's Sphere, but I'm not 100% on that.
I think didn't see a Geru.
Yeah, Talbadar throwing out some damage, throwing Mind Blast. Obviously, if you cast a Mind Blast with that Shadow Orb, it's going to do a lot more dot damage, and that's really what he's all about, is as much damage as possible. But a Hex onto Cdew right now, and Snutz is stuck in a cheap shot into a kidney shot. Could be in a little bit of trouble, and Mir did use his on-use and a sap from a dance onto Cdew. Snutz also in a garrote right now. Talbadar's hurting on mana, man. He's all the way down to 40% already.
That's pretty standard, though. You know, he's going to be spamming out a lot of dispels and everything at the start. He's going to spend a lot of his mana, and I think Talbadar DC'd, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, he's definitely DC'd.
Yeah, so that's really, really shitty.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
maybe they can stay alive.
Tal's back. He's back, so that's good. They are going to be opening up onto Tenderloin. There's the Grow onto Tenderloin. A shield coming out immediately from Talbadar, but yeah, he should be able to get the mana back out once he pops his Fiend and Archangel and whatnot. Snutz, though, is going to be the target now. Tenderloin dispelling that UA, but Snutz is into the kidney shot. Not much damage rolling from Skenz just yet. The VT actually gets dispelled, hitting both Geru and Skenz, and Tal gets a full fear onto Geru. He has a Mind Flayed in the middle. Is Snutz going to be able to port over there and get some full dots? He needs to. There's the dots. There's the coil. Big damage going to be coming in on Geru. He has to trinket immediately. There's a Hex and a War Stomp on the trinket. Howlitaire coming out. Is Geru just going to go down here? Spirit Link goes down, but no players are in it, and he's just going to die.
Wow! What an amazing play by the Shadow play, man.
Wow.
Especially Talbadar with that War Stomp at the end there. That was nuts. Yeah. And Geru was like, I'm going to die. You guys need to get in my link. All right. Game is starting. Here we go. Talbadar leading the charge, the Shadow Priest champ himself. Mir starting out in stealth. He is in the center of the bridge right now, probably going to get a sap onto Snutz. Snutz might have seen him. No, he does get the sap onto Talbadar, and Mir is actually going to stand below. Looks like he is definitely going to open on Talbadar right now. Not going to be able to get a sap onto Cdew, and dots are already dispelled right off of Snutz. And Mir actually goes for a resap on Talbadar into a garrote. So they really shut Talbadar down for a good part of that, but they didn't really do much.
But there's a full soul swap onto Tenderloin. They have a kidney with that as well. The fear comes out. Talbadar has to trinket. Snutz is trinketed as well, but into a Hex. So an awesome start here from the RLS. There's a silence onto Geru with that fear on Amira, denying the dispel, trying to force out that tremor, but Geru's not going to be silly enough to do that. So a really, really nice start here from the RLS. Talbadar, as you can see, is at 80% HP. Tenderloin's at 50% HP. Snutz just gets spell locked. So the RLS has things rolling, but they need to keep the pressure going. They need to not pull back at this point. You know, they had a great start, and they need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and the Warlock is already down to 36%. He gets picked back up to 50%. A dance coming out from Mir. He does a cheap shot onto Snutz. Looks like he is going to be connecting the Snutz, but also a cheap shot onto Talbadar. I'm sorry, he's going to be hitting Talbadar with a kidney on Talbadar as well. It's Talbadar all the way down to 50%, down to 37%. Holding his Disperse key very well.
There's the Soul Swap, though, over on a Tenderloin. He dispels the way before the coil, but it gets re-put up in it. So Talbadar is going to have to throw out some heals. There's the Mending. There's the Shield. War Stomp coming out defensively from Talbadar. He's going for the Mind Blast. Gets locked on it. Tenderloin's in a lot of trouble here, though. Kidney, he's going to have to trinket 30% HP. He's probably going to have to use at least an NS here, I think. There's the Smoke Bomb coming down. He needs to do something to pick himself back up. He's in so much trouble, but Skenz at the same time is being pressured hard, and Geru needs to keep his team defensive. We do see the Tenderloin. There's the NS, and he knows he can't get stunned again while he's at this low HP. He might just have to link.
Yeah, he's 50% right now. No trinket, no NS. Talbadar throwing out those flash shields. He knows he needs help right now. Looks like he's going to start waddling towards him to try and get the link.
Kidney, though.
Yeah, with a kidney, that's almost guaranteed to have to link out of that. He's at 35%. A Hex on a Talbadar and a garrote. I think there's the link. There we go. That's what they needed. A little pick-me-up right there. But this pressure from the RLS from just riding the Shaman is so good. You know, Geru is at 80% health, but look at his mana. He's doing just fine. But actually, he gets dispels the UA, and he's at 50%, but he's on the opposite side of the map. I don't see him going down anytime soon. A full blind onto Cdew with Snutz stuck in a kidney shot. Talbadar probably going to start healing pretty quickly because he
And
knows
Tenderloin's
he's going to
full
get sapped.
there's a lot of trouble here for Snutz. I mean, he does catch a shield. There's a flash shield being spammed out by Talbadar. Great defensive play, keeping his team alive. I mean, Tenderloin, though, he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. There's the Shadow Flame, plus the Soul Swap. Cheap shot onto Tenderloin. They're just swapping back and forth. A much better game coming out of the RLS here. There's the kidney shot following that up. Is a Geru going to follow it? No, not just yet. He's at 30% HP, though. Tenderloin does get a nice grip from Talbadar. He's going to pull him away to safety.
Yeah, that was really good, very clutch. They need to start getting some reverse pressure right now. Looks like they are going to get it onto this Warlock. Possibly a banish coming out from Snutz onto the Warlock's pet. And with Geru in a silence, this Warlock is in a little bit of trouble. He's at 50% right now. Looks like he might get bursted. He's at 3% gets picked back up from a greater heal, and with a Riptide coming from Cdew trying to pick Snutz up as well.
Yeah,
Talbadar at 95% health with a spell lock.
Geru just triggered it though, and he's used his NS as well. They're going to be swapping hard onto him. If this healing wave can get interrupted, no, it can't, so that's going to crit. Skenz needs to get picked back up, but dots are everywhere from Skenz. He has full dots on Snutz and Talbadar. There's a lot of damage coming in on Talbadar right now. He did dispel UA off himself. Nice job with that. But look at Tenderloin on mana. He's really hurting, and this RLS just needs to keep the pressure rolling. Mir is going to be in some trouble, down to 50% HP. Nice mind control, stopping the drink. I mean, Cdew is drinking, and he just got like 50% mana back, while Geru wasn't able to dispel that mind control.
Yeah, and here comes the cloak from Mir right now. Snutz is stuck in a kidney. He's at 57%. Looks like Sken's pet did just die, but there's no cloak for Mir. He did just use it just now, and he's still at 50% HP with an Earth Shield on himself. I think they could actually get a pretty big swap onto Gear, and it looks like that's actually what they're going to try and do. He's trying to kite away. He's at 75% health, but Talbadar is still at 53 with a Death Coil on Snutz. So lots of reverse pressure coming from this RLS, and Geru's picking himself up behind a pillar, and a Divine Hymn coming from Talbadar, trying to negate that bomb as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, really good job once again by Talb. He's just so good with that defensive play. Mana Tide has come out from Geru. He's going to top his team back off here. He's doing quite well on mana. Things are pretty even. Even though Cdew got that drink, he's behind on mana still. We can see that the wings are up from Talbadar. He's spamming those mind spikes, trying to get some burst going onto Skenz. Geru needs to get a Riptide going on himself. Here's the dance from Mir. They're going to go hard onto Snutz. Snutz has full dots. He's corroded as well. Fear comes out defensively from Talbadar, but Talbadar is feared off by Skenz now, and he's at 60%. If dots can get rolling on him as well, they could definitely swap there.
Yeah, Talbadar's still a little bit low on mana, but Cdew's also low on mana. Looks like both Shamans are at roughly the same mana points. Geru at 75% health right now, and he's actually getting some big drinks off, but so is Cdew. So it looks like both teams are okay for now on as far as mana is concerned. Talbadar is at 60% health right now, so that's trying to throw some CC. Looks like he's trying to juke the counterspell. Mir is fully dotted. His cloak is coming back up in another 20 seconds or so. It's not stuck in a full kidney, probably going to get corroded out, which means he's out of the game for a little bit, but he actually doesn't get corroded. Yeah. He does port away, trying to cast a fear onto the rogue, and it does land.
I feel like that was a big mistake by Mir, though. He was over by Cdew the entire time he drank, and Cdew has drank like literally 80,000 mana this game, which is just huge, because he would be dead and And I mean, he keeps getting these drinks off over and over. They really have to watch that. They can't allow Cdew to get those drinks off, and as you can see, he's playing so far back. He constantly pulls back as soon as he knows that his team's okay. Snutz, though, is in some trouble now. He's at 70% HP. The Earth Shield goes up on him. He's into that kidney. Blind under Tenderloin. He's going to trigger that immediately. Get the Hex on the dance. Nice Hex from Cdew, denying that full Shadow Dance from Mir.
Yeah, that was gold and actually really smart play. Snutz did have to sit in a garrote. Looks like Snutz actually relayed his port right there in the very center of the bridge. But Geru down to 60% HP. He did just get disarmed, but it looks like they're doing a good job of splitting up this burst that attempted to come out from the shadow play. Snutz getting as many dots out as he can. Currently has dots up on the Warlock and possibly the pet. I can't find the pet. The pet is at 70% HP.
Mir just got a re-stealth, but Cdew grabbed the eye, flame shotgun out of stealth. Nice job by Cdew. Skenz is at 50% HP, and things are looking quite okay for the shadow play. It looks like they want to swap to his Tenderloin. We saw Skenz pop up, throw the shadow flame down, but Mir didn't go over there. So he's sitting on Talbadar, but there's no dots on Talbadar right now. And Cdew's just doing a nice job locking down Skenz, who is down to 50% HP. He's going to drop down to the bottom. Talbadar's going down there chasing him. Looks like Talbadar's going to get a fear onto Geru. Geru's at 60% HP. He is going to throw that G-heal off on himself, top himself back up. Cdew just barely missing the Hex on that G-heal. It does land, but unfortunately it broke to dots.
Yeah, that was a almost perfect Hex, and MS is obviously a factor, latency rather. But Talbadar is at 63%. Looks like he's going to try and do some damage to Geru. He's deciding to disperse all this damage coming from his RLS
drinking,
right
man. They got to stop that. Geru does sit up, so he only got 1 or 2 ticks, but still that could be key. There's a swap onto Talbot, or onto Tenderloin rather. There was a kidney, followed up by a Hex actually. There's full dots on him, but Talbadar's in so much trouble. He has no disperse. He's fully dotted up. The Rogue is connecting to him. He has lots of energy, so he's going to be dumping those backstabs out. Here comes the smoke bomb. Cdew needs to get in there, needs to get some heals off on Talbadar because he's at 20% HP. Cdew might have to throw down the link here.
Yeah, Talbadar actually going offensive right now, and now he does throw a Prayer of Mending out. Gonna throw another shield, another smoke bomb from Mir. Those were 2 smoke bombs, like a 20-second time frame.
Oh, Talbadar just got kicked on Flash Heal. He's going for the Mind Blast because he can't do anything else. There's a Fear onto Tenderloin. He has no Tremor, no Trinket available. Coil onto Talbadar. Looks like he probably is going to go down here. There's a real Soul Drain ticking. His shield does come up. The Spirit Link just in time is going to have them all at 60% HP. But look at, they're not out of the woods just yet because Snutz is fully dotted. Talbadar is still fully dotted. They're going to swap over onto Snutz, who is in a lot of trouble. Skenz is also at 40% HP, though. He's going to pour it out of there, trying to get his team top back off. Geru might need to blow some cooldowns here.
Yeah, and Sken's pet did just die. He did get a resummon and did reapply that Soul Link, but that was pretty close. They had some really good reverse pressure going, despite Talbadar almost dying. Talbadar stuck in a Fear right now, but he does get out. Looks like a really quick dispel from Cdew, who is Tenderloin, for those of you wondering. But Mir has to cloak at 4% health. That was close. That was really close.
And he's still so low. He's going to dance. There's a CS onto Geru. Geru might need to come in here and get a link off because Mir could be in some trouble if a Mind Blast lands. Talbadar, though, into a cheap shot. Snutz is full feared right now with the UA ticking, but he's going for the Mind Blast. Big Burst going to be coming out onto Skenz. Skenz at 40% HP. Geru is, quite high on HP. Look at Tenderloin, though. He's drinking to full mana. Once again, they're just ignoring it. Skenz is sitting in the middle of the map. He was, at least, he was in range to stop that, but he wasn't able to do so. And as a result, look at the man on Tenderloin. Look at the man on Geru. This Shadowplay now has a huge advantage. Talbadar is low on HP, but he's going to disperse. He should be able to get top back off. Snutz throwing out those life taps, getting some mana back, goes into a kidney shot. Mir is going to keep the pressure rolling. We're going to have to see, though, is Geru going to be able to get a drink now?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and go for a little soft reset right here, but with Talbadar doing that Mind Seer, he's not going to be able to drink. And another pet goes down for Skenz, and he doesn't have the pet resummon talent available to him. I know he spec'd it, but it's currently on cooldown. He does have to soul burn a new pet out. And Cdew does dispel a UA right there. Snutz looks like he jukes a counter spell, and he's going to start getting some more dots out. Talbadar getting dots out. A blind comes from Miru onto Cdew. He doesn't have a trinket. A cheap shot onto Talbadar because it is a dance. Kidney shot as well. A sap onto Cdew. Really nice sap. Snutz stuck in a Fear. Talbadar is alone right now. He gets a War Stomp off, and now Snutz is in a full Hex. Looks like Cdew's going to have some trouble picking him up, man. I think he just used Nature's Swiftness, and now he's stuck in a Death Coils. Talbadar is at 80% health. Looks like he should be okay for the time being, but they don't have much pressure going, man. Snutz has dots on Geru, but that's pretty much it. A Fear comes out from Snutz onto Skenzies. Or Skenz, and he does end up willing it.
Look at how low a mana Geru is, so he really needs to get some mana back, and Talb's not going to let him. Talb's going offensive. He knows this is the time. He does get that Fear out. The Tremor is forced. A shot coming out of Geru onto Talbadar. They're going to shut down some of that damage, but they're just going to go hard on Geru. They're going to chase him down. There's a Death Coil. He has to trinket immediately. He's silenced, and he's trinketed into that silence. He's going to be in so much trouble. He's running away from his team, and he's going to have to Spirit Link, but they're not in it. They are now going to hop in. In Tenderloin, in the meantime, he's just tiding up top. He's sitting back. He's going to throw out a Hex. I think it did get shocked there. There's a kidney onto Talbadar, which is going to be trinketed. But I have to say the Shadow Play's at the advantage right now. Hex now coming out though. Oh, full Hex from Geru onto Tenderloin. Maybe Talbadar could be in some trouble, but he does have the disperse available, so he's going to use that. Skenz also, at 30% HP. Tenderloin actually got a DR sapped after that Hex, so nice job by Mir. But Geru's in a full Fear, and Skenz might just go down.
Yeah, Sken's at 26% health right now. Looks like Snutz is going to throw a Haunt, possibly get the kill. Sken's trying to drain life for all his might right now. Talbadar tries to get the Fear on Geru. It does land. Looks like Talbadar is going to try and start going for the kill on Geru.
But Talbadar might just die here. He's into a kidney shot. The Spirit Link has to come out just before that Smoke Bomb. Nicely timed Spirit Link, but I don't even know if it's going to be enough. The pressure rolling from this RLS is so high now, and there's just so much damage coming out. There was a disarm onto Mir. Geru going for that G-heal, trying to top his team back off. Tenderloin doing a good job of that as well. But I mean, Snutz is dotted. Talbadar is dotted. Those are expiring now. It looks like there was a soul swap over onto Tenderloin. Geru, though, is in some trouble. He's dispelled UA. He's down at the bottom, though, so he should be able to top himself back off. He has the mana tide. Maybe going to go for a drink, but no, Snutz is there to deny that.
Yeah, nice play by Snutz. He has that port in the center of the bridge. Can be kind of risky, but with how the game's going right now, I think it's a very smart choice. You see he soul swaps onto Geru right now, who's fully dotted. never mind. Now he just threw 1 Dispel and gets rid of 2 dots. But Mir down to 50%, and he does have full dots, and he's caught in the Hex. He does have a Cloak, however, so it looks like he should be fine.
They're going to go hard on Geru, though. There's a Death Coil from Snutz. He gets full dots up. Talbadar, unfortunately, not able to get there. There's no spell available, so Geru can go behind the pillar, heal himself back up. But Mir is at so low. He does have to Cloak. He's going to Healthstone, I think, there as well. And Mir and Geru are just being so split. Mir is constantly rotting and having below those cooldowns. The pressure now from the shadow play is just insane. We see that Geru is down to 60%, Skenz to 60% as well. A big Halitair onto Geru. He has to trinket that actually, but he's going to trinket. Tenderloin gets death coiled, and Talbadar has to disperse. He's at 20% HP. If there's going to be any CC coming out on Tenderloin, Talbadar could definitely go down here. Talbadar into that cheap shot, and NS comes out from Tenderloin. He tries to fake the CS. He doesn't get it there. He just gets a free casted heal though, and now so he will be okay for now. But Talbadar still is under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and look at mana now, too. Both teams are pretty low on mana. It's a rough situation to be in. Cdew is spamming Dispel on all of those dots. Looks like he gets a Hex off onto Geru right now. Mir doesn't have a Cloak, and he's still at 51% health. He could actually go down here, man. He's at 38. Geru's still in that Hex. And with both the Rogue and the Shaman running behind that pillar, looks like he'll be able to...
Skenz is in trouble, though, man. He was split from his team. He's at 40% HP. He has the life tap. He throws out that Halitair defensively. Cdew's just drinking in the meantime. He is going to hop down, I think, and just go offensive, but Skenz is probably going to go down here. There's the Tremor. Skenz is at 10% HP, 20% HP. He's catching some heals. Geru is completely though. Talbadar also quite low. He's at 30% HP. Talbadar could go down, too. He throws the Fear Ward onto Tenderloin, denying that Fear. So Tenderloin is going to be able to get some heals off. Geru's into a full Fear, though. There's a coil onto Skenz. Skenz at 30% HP. A mind control onto Mir. He was trying to put the wound poison up onto Skenz.
That's really smart and kind of funny, but that was insane, man. That was really close, and now Spirit Link did just come up from cooldown for Geru, so if they land a kill, it's probably going to have to be a burst. Talbadar throws a Fear out onto Mir, who is fully dotted, on his dance, so that was really nice. Snutz did just set a Fear. Looks like it broke to either damage or Cdew dispelled at the same time. Talbadar stuck in a gouge right now. Skenz still at 55% health. He's not entirely out of the woods yet. Geru has really good positioning this game, though, and he's also getting a drink off, so that's pretty crucial. I think Cdew's probably going to sit down for a drink himself, but there is a pet harassing him right now, which is definitely huge. And
Skenz is just letting him drink right beside him. Look at this. Skenz is literally sitting, Tenderloin is drinking in his face, and this is like the 5th time this has happened. He just drank 80,000 mana within melee range practically. It was like, I don't even know. There was a pet right there the whole time, and Skenz could just put his pet on him. So I don't know. That's pretty messy. But anyway, Skenz is going to be at 60% HP. We must be approaching the time limit, though, and I'm not sure
we actually happens. Have 3 seconds to go. Talbadar is not going to go down. No teams are going to go down. That is 15 minutes officially.
And so do both teams get a point? Because if both teams get a point, then the shadow play wins. What's the... So we need to know what the timeout rule is.
Well, actually, I'll keep commentating the game because they're not leaving for now. But Skenz is at 64% mana, or health rather.
Yeah. So, well, the series is over because both teams get a point. So the shadow play wins. They're going to take it 3-1. The players haven't yet realized that it's over.